Netflix taking a cue perhaps from Titanic and Casablanca and some other movies where we've fictionalized some love stories against the backdrop of very real events, in this case, World War II. Let's talk about Transatlantic. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the Netflix miniseries Transatlantic. This is streaming right now and based on the book The Flight Portfolio from a few years ago. And this is co-created by Anna Winger, who created the very popular Netflix series Unorthodox, another great miniseries, about a Jewish family in that case. Before we launch into any more specifics about this miniseries, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thanks for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out, and I try to post like 5-6 videos a week at least for your viewing pleasure. So please consider subscribing down below or like this video, comment. All that stuff does help the channel out. So this is focusing in on the very real Emergency Rescue Committee that operated in Spain and Portugal in the early 1940s after the fall of France. And there are some real people here that are either characters or referenced or whatever. And then there's some fictionalized people as well. And Gillian Jacobs, who we know from Community and many other things, plays Mary Jane Gold, who is a real person. She was an American heiress. And basically the plot of this is trying to help out some refugees out of Nazi Germany, being kind of hindered by the government in Vichy, France, and ending up, doing the Pyrenees mountain thing. And it reminded me a little bit in that particular case of The Sound of Music when they went through the Alps. But anyways, a lot of real stuff here, going on, and some fictionalized stuff as well. Lucas Englander plays Albert Hirschman. Corey Michael Smith, who you may know from Gotham and a few other movies that he's done along the way. He plays Varian Fry. And again, I'm not sure if these are real people or not. I know Mary Jane Gold was. Corey Stoll is the only other really person I recognize. He shows up in so many different things, but he plays this dude, Graham Patterson. So anyway, this is a pretty interesting show. A lot of, I don't want to say like historical elements going into it, but there kind of are. I would say it focuses probably more on some of the historical stuff in those first couple episodes, and then as we venture more into the rest of the miniseries, there's 7 episodes total. I did not watch all of them. I watched the first 3. But as we veer into kind of, episodes 2 and definitely 3, it's definitely more at this point about the drama between the people and less so about the, breaking out and getting away from the Nazis. And what's interesting about this is that, look, obviously this was, a huge, important thing that happened in history. But watching, okay, let's take in refugees and help them move and stuff. Watching that maybe is not as exciting as we are used to in 2023. So they peppered it in. And I'm sure this is all part of the book, too. With these fictionalized romances. And really, there's more than just the romances, but there's a lot of different plot points and stuff going on. It ends up becoming more of a soap opera or like a Downton Abbey kind of thing, because it's focused so much on the characters and the love triangle and the interracial love and the queer love and all of these other things that, I mean, maybe they happened, maybe they didn't. I don't really know specifically. But in any event, it turns into this sort of soap opera-esque type show. The backdrops are gorgeous. As far as I could tell, they shot kind of on location here, and so the landscapes and whatever are wonderful to look at. It's certainly not failing in that regard. The costuming is okay. We've certainly seen better, I think, with period pieces like this. The biggest sore thumb, unfortunately, in this, though, is Gillian Jacobs. And I usually like her, she's done a lot since the Community days. And I don't think I've necessarily had much issue with what she's been doing. But here, she just, I don't know if it's the writing of the character. I'm not sure, but she gives one of the worst performances I've seen her give. And I don't want to say she's a bad actress because I don't think she is. But I think she was miscast here. Maybe another actress could have worked the material a little bit better. But she ends up being sort of a boring part of the story, and it's a shame because the real person is such a hero that I would have liked to have, not that I wasn't rooting for, but like it just wasn't compelling for me with her character. The other thing that was kind of throwing me off, and this is, I think, a me problem, but Corey Michael Smith, I didn't watch Gotham, so I was not too familiar with him. I've seen some of the things he's done. He was in the movie First Man. He was in the movie Carol, so I've seen those. But he wears these glasses in this Transatlantic, and I was like, the whole first episode, I'm like, where have I seen this guy? Who does he remind me of? And if you are a Jeopardy fan, you'll appreciate this. Buzzy Cohen wears these same kind of glasses, and he does them now as he's one of the chasers on the game show The Chase. And so the whole first episode, I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And I'm like, well, it's definitely not Buzzy Cohen. Once I figured out it was the glasses. But anyway, so I'm not really familiar with this guy, but I do think he did a really good job. And I think he had kind of the most meaty things going on with his character. So overall, look, this is definitely worth a watch. And it makes me look forward to the next project from Anna Winger, because Unorthodox was great. This is not quite up to that level, I think, because there's a little bit too much going on, a little too soap opera-y for what I was expecting with this show. But it's definitely still worth a watch. I leave Transatlantic with a B, and you can check that out, all 7 episodes on Netflix right now. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.